So hello guys. In this video, we are going to learn how we can very easily create this kind of text to 3D visualization inside TouchDesigner. I have taken a text data here, which I have created in Tops. After that, I have tried to visualize it in 3D through Chops. After that, I will just delete this network. We will only keep the text, our movie file in, and the ramp top. We will import a constant chop. After that, we will rename this chop row, and the second one is going to be column. Then we will set the value of row to 100 and the value of column to 100. Okay, after that, a null. Then we will reference the values of this row and column in our text top, the text top, so that we can very easily change the resolution of these texts anytime. Okay, so after that, we're going to use the values of this same null in our fit top as well. Then the same in the ramp top. Okay, after that, we will import a switch top. And then we will also connect this text top and the ramp top to our switch top. Okay, now let's arrange these tops, and after that we will use an LFO chop. Okay, in this LFO chop, we will change its offset a bit, to 2. And we will also make its amplitude 2. Now, after this LFO, we will use a math chop in which we will rearrange the values. We will basically increase the values a bit. The value that is going from 0 to 4, we will rearrange it to 0 to 2. Okay, after that, we will use a lag chop to smooth these values a little. And in the lag chop, we will reduce its frequency from 0.1. After that, lag chops, okay, not in lag chop, sorry. In the LFO chop, we will reduce the frequency to 0.1, and in the lag chop, we will make its value 0.1. Then we will use a null chop. After that, we will reference the values of this null chop in the switch chop, which is a top, so that our text, the image of the banana, and the visuals of the ramp keep switching very easily. After that, we will use a blur top. And in this blur top, we will reduce the value of the blur to 4. Okay. Okay, let's make the value of this math 0 to 3, so that the switching becomes even faster. Now, after this blur top, we are going to use one more operator, which will be a null. Okay, after finalizing this, we're going to move towards the chop network, and we will remove this alpha data, blue and green data. We are only going to keep the red channel. That's it. After that, we will use a shuffle chop. And in this shuffle chop, this red channel, through name, we will do that. What do you call it? Sequence it. And the top to chop, In that, we will go to crop and visualize them in the full image. Okay, then after this shuffle chop, we will use a null chop. After the null chop, we will move on to basically a geometry comp. And in this geometry comp, we will delete the default torus, and we will add our own new geometry, which will be a grid. Okay, then let's divide it from here. And in this grid, its rows and columns will also be referenced very easily from here, which we had set the values for earlier in the constant. Then we will close this tab. After that, after this grid, we will use a null. And then after this null, after a null, a chop to. Okay, inside this null, we'll use a chop to sop, and in the chop tab of this chop to sop, we will import our null chop, and we'll rename this red channel to TG. Okay, something is slightly visible here. We'll delete these values, just as you can see on the screen. You can follow along if you want. Okay, this value has become a bit too much. We'll have to reduce it a little. Okay, for this, we can do one more thing. Let's close this tab from here. And then before the null chop, we will use a math chop so we can reduce these values as they are going too much towards 0 to 1. We will reduce it here in the multiply tab by multiplying it with 0.07. You can adjust this according to your preference. Okay, now it is a bit more subtle. It's not looking right now because of the material. We haven't assigned any material yet, nor any lighting, which we'll do shortly. For the material, we can use a wireframe material. You can assign it easily like this. Now it's starting to show up a bit here. Okay, the hello text is visible. Now when I turn it on, the rest of the shapes will also become visible. Very easily, very beautiful. Then, if we turn on the blend feature here, the blend between them will become even smoother. Now let's import a camera. Then you can easily build it like a typical render network. You can also try it with a different material if you want. I'll take a line material here. It also offers more options for color variations. I'll make this completely white. Then, with the width near feature, you can manipulate the width of these created lines. You can either increase it or decrease it. Okay. Now you can also adjust the camera angle from here. I'll choose a desired angle that looks nice. After that, we can easily import the render top. Then, we can now move on to the post-processing part of this video and this tutorial, which is going to be very simple. In this part, we are going to create a simple feedback loop, which will include a feedback top, a composite top, and a level top. Let's arrange them nicely and connect the render top to this composite top. We drag it like this. placing the composite top inside the feedback top and slightly reduce the opacity to around 0.85. Nothing is visible now because we need to change its operation. We'll set it to add. Now it's slightly visible. This is optional. You can either create this feedback loop or not. After that, to adjust its colors, we create a level top. Then we invert its value to 1 and slightly reduce the brightness so it looks a bit nicer. Then we can also fix the transparent part you see by setting any color you want in the background with a transform top. Before that, we import a noise top. We also convert its resolution to a 16:9 ratio and set its type to random. Then, a level top. Then, we reduce its opacity by 0.3. Then we connect it with the over operation to our main visual, so we get a slightly grainy look. Then with an RGB key, you can completely remove this transparent background. Then a level top, so our visual looks a bit brighter. Then you can create an HSV adjust top to further enhance its colors. More or less, the video ends here. You can tweak these values a bit, and that's it. So our simple short tutorial ends here.